Yeah. So are the cameras live right now?
Cameras are live, yeah.
Okay, so why aren't the signs out?
They
Why?
are.
Yeah, but why are you putting them out after?
Because they're just set up. We've only been here a few minutes.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be out before you put the cameras on.
We're, as far as I'm...
One simple question completely changed the atmosphere of this police operation. What started as a routine facial recognition deployment in Essex suddenly turned into a confrontation over privacy, surveillance, and public consent. Because according to this auditor, the police cameras were already scanning people before warning signs had even been properly put in place. And once that contradiction was exposed, the entire encounter spiraled into a tense debate about freedom, government overreach, and exactly how much power facial recognition technology should really have on British streets. But that was only the beginning.
Because you'll come through an area where there's a facial recognition van, you've covered your whole face up like that.
Well, maybe
We see your face?
maybe it's because I don't consent to being on there.
Oh, right. Okay, why's that?
Because I think it's a bit of a government overreach.
Oh, right, okay. That's fine. Can we take your details down? Is that alright?
Nope.
No? Okay. Where are you from?
No comment.
Alright, okay. Why are you so concerned about it?
No comment.
Do you not think it's a good idea?
No.
You don't? So by getting facial recognition of people, to get identification of people, you don't think that's any good?
No, the thing is, we live in a country which is free. We don't have to carry ID. So we don't live in a state where the police have the right to see your ID willy-nilly. This takes away my freedom because you're IDing me without asking.
Do you know how that actually works?
No, I'm not interested in your propaganda.
Alright.
It is propaganda. You're going to say, oh, it's good for crime. Yeah, maybe on 1-2% of the time. But in exchange, we have to give up some freedoms. So I don't... If you came up to me and said, give me your ID, I wouldn't give it to you. But this removes my right to not give it to you because you ID me immediately.
But you do realise there's CCTV all down the high street anyway.
Yeah, but that's not...
So you're always on that camera.
Yeah, but that...
This encounter kicks off instantly with tension. A masked man walks directly through Essex Police's live facial recognition zone, and officers immediately lock onto him. The moment they notice his fully covered face, the questions begin. But instead of backing down, the auditor fires straight back, challenging the entire concept of facial recognition in public spaces. What starts as a simple stop quickly turns into a much deeper confrontation about freedom, privacy, and government surveillance. The officers attempt to justify the deployment, while the auditor argues that the technology strips away a citizen's right to remain unidentified in public. Within seconds, the atmosphere changes from casual policing to a full ideological clash, and neither side looks willing to back down.
That doesn't pop up and...
This will not identify you unless
you're wanted by
the police for specific offences that we're looking for
Yeah,
at the time.
that's what you tell me, but there's many occasions where government and police lie about the true intentions of technology, policy, and it comes to light maybe years later that it was misused. So at this point in time, where it's a new technology and it's only just in a trial period, I don't fully trust that the technology is being used for the reason you say it's being used. I don't know you, I don't know you.
No, I appreciate it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Right, okay,
And
so
I
what
don't.
do you have the camera for in your sunglasses?
Why do you have a body camera?
Yeah, but mine's not activated at the moment.
Yeah, but why do you have it?
Well, because people make complaints about the police, people say that stuff happened when we haven't done it. So
And also for safety, so someone could say you said something you didn't, or something had happened.
Yeah.
This is the same. So
Well,
you could say that I was aggressive and swore at you or whatever.
No,
So
you're
I put this on, and this now proves the
But you've
interaction.
got to look from our point of view, okay? You wear
I don't
dark shades,
have
you've
to.
got
I don't
your
have
face-
to look at it
No,
from your point
I'm
of view.
Saying, from our point of view, you've got covering your face, you've got shades on, you've got a cap on.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
facial recognition.
that's intentional. You've got a cap on.
No,
Yeah,
it's,
I'm just saying you're covering your whole face, so you know it just makes us think. Let's have a question with you, have a little chat. See what's
Yeah,
going on.
we can have a
So
chat,
that's fine.
but I'm not going to. I mean, you can tell me about the technology and you can tell me what you're here for, but I'm free to I'm free to make.
Here, then obviously you understand what's going on at the moment with machetes and knives, attacks, etc.
Yeah, but that's the same all over the country. You know, I've come from London, for example. It's way worse in London, but this isn't on the high street 2 or 3 times a week.
Now the confrontation intensifies. The auditor openly accuses authorities of using technology as a tool for creeping control, arguing that today's crime prevention could become tomorrow's abuse of power. Every explanation given by the officers is immediately challenged, creating a constant back and forth that keeps the pressure high. As police try to reassure him that the cameras only target wanted individuals, the auditor refuses to trust the system or the people operating it. The conversation becomes less about one police deployment and more about the public's growing fear of mass surveillance. At this point, both sides are standing firm, and the tension becomes impossible to ignore.
Are you local to here, are you? Or?
Well, I'm not going to tell you where I'm from.
Oh no, I don't have a conversation. Have you been in the van here different times? That's what I'm asking.
I'm aware of the van being here, yes.
Right, okay.
Not in this location, I'm aware of when it was up by the post office.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay. That's fine. As I said, yeah, it's not here to try and scare anyone, it's here for a policing purpose. We can give you a leaflet that explains why the technology works. But
I mean, you can give me a leaflet and show me the van, you know, and I'm happy to engage at that point, but I'm not going to show you my face. That's a point of principle. So if you're just doing that to try and coax me into doing
no, I'm not going to coax you into doing that, to be fair. Obviously, we sort of speak to you because you're out of the norm that you've gone to those lengths to conceal yourself by walking past it, which makes us wonder why you've done that. Obviously, you're explaining yourself.
I'm not normal, so.
I'm not judging what your character is, but I'm just saying.
Here, officers finally explain exactly why they approached him in the first place. According to police, the heavy face covering immediately made him stand out from everyone else walking through the area. But the auditor sees that explanation very differently. To him, covering his face is an act of protest against facial recognition itself. To the police, it's suspicious behavior worthy of attention. That difference in perspective creates another sharp moment of conflict, as the encounter shifts from discussing technology to questioning personal freedom and intent. Even though the tone stays controlled, the suspicion in the conversation becomes very clear.
The leaflet's there. I don't know if you've got a mobile phone or anything to use the QR code. So on there, if you scan the QR code, it tells you where we're going to be, etc. in advance, okay?
Yeah. So are the cameras live right now?
Cameras are live, yeah.
Okay, so why aren't the signs out?
They
why?
are.
Yeah, but why are you putting them out after?
Because we've just out. We've only been here a few minutes.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be out before you put the cameras on.
We're, as far as I'm aware, we're literally here a few minutes. So.
Yeah, but what about other people who all these people don't know because you've not got the signs out? That's my point.
It's not
we're
not saying it's even started yet. So
well, he's just told me it is. So are the cameras live right now?
Cameras are live, yeah. Well, I've not actually been in the van. All I'm saying is they're just setting it up.
So are the cameras live right now?
Cameras are live, yeah. Well, I've not actually been in the van. All I'm saying is they're just setting it up.
I mean, I can't actually start working yet, hence why they haven't put the signs up yet.
We didn't come in this vehicle. We came in another vehicle. We've literally just got here.
Yeah.
This is where the auditor believes he catches the police slipping. After asking direct questions about the operation, he discovers the facial recognition cameras are already active, despite warning signs not yet being fully deployed around the area. The officers try to explain that they had only just arrived and were still setting up, but the damage is already done. The auditor immediately presses the issue, arguing that members of the public were unknowingly scanned before receiving any warning at all. It's a small detail on the surface, but in a debate centered around privacy and consent, it suddenly becomes a major talking point.
They'll put the signs up
so what
first.
do you have in there? What happens?
Well, it's obviously it is cameras that monitors people's movements, and it's got facial recognition technology that it can point. It obviously maps people's face, and the people that we're looking for that have been put into the system, specific people that have been put into the system. If they came down this area, it could identify them and would go and talk to them just to see the people that we want to talk to. So that's all it is.
Right.
Obviously, it's got CCTV like everywhere else. The whole of the town centre that records 360 CCTV, but that doesn't get recorded. The CCTV gets recorded, sorry, but the facial stuff that gets deleted instantly. As soon as you walk past it, it doesn't record it because it's so relevant unless we speak to you.
So that's why I find the inconsistencies, because it depends who you talk to. So one police officer, for example, said the footage itself is deleted immediately. They don't retain any of the footage.
Yeah, that's the facial stuff. That gets literally deleted straight away because it'll scan a face, then instantly delete it because it's got nothing to need it for. But it has CCTV, like the town has. It has some hard CCTV to cover officers being deployed on full CCTV.
Right.
Which has to be retained for a period of time before it gets deleted and then. Alright, so we'll leave it to...
So you can calibrate this, obviously, to your specifics to each day, is that correct? So today you can say, I want to look for people who are wanted, or we want to look for sex offenders,
They determine what lists go in there, yeah.
So you've been deployed, maybe, is it 4 times in the last week or so?
I can tell you what...
So is it different criteria each time? Are you testing different criteria, or...?
Obviously specific to locations, isn't it? Some areas like this get targeted by violent crime, so we might be looking at people involved in violent crime, that gangs that are causing problems in the local area. So it depends. All right.
So you obviously publish where you're going to be. So do you get much of a hit rate, or do you find people maybe?
Well, it has. Yeah, obviously it does work. So we have stopped people. People have been arrested from using it. Identified that are wanted for various offences that we speak to them about. I said the normal day-to-day people go about your day-to-day business. I know it sounds like you maybe don't agree with it and stuff, but
I think for the majority of people, the comments we've had from people is reassuring for them. Because obviously, as I say, it scans pretty much everyone that's walking down here.
Yeah.
Within a split second, well, less than a second, is it? 0.2 of a second. If the computer thinks that they're not wanted for us, we're not interested in them, then it blurs their face out. Obviously, if it does alert us, then we come and chat to people.
Yeah. So I think there's no... I mean, it's a different balance to strike, because in one sense it might be useful to show people that the footage, their faces then get blurred, etc. But you've also got to protect people's data on the screen. So
that's it. And because you're recording as well, obviously we don't want to recording the footage in there and stuff like that. It's still sensitive nature, and if you're recording stuff on your glasses, then it's sensitive, isn't it? So we're not going to show you the depths of how it works while you record. All right, that's it.
With tensions already high, officers now begin fully explaining how the facial recognition system actually works. They describe how faces are scanned in real time, compared against watch lists, and either instantly deleted or flagged for police attention. But instead of calming the situation, the explanation raises even more concerns. The auditor repeatedly questions how much data is truly being stored, who controls the system, and how reliable the technology really is. Police insist the operation targets dangerous individuals involved in violent crime, while the auditor warns that surveillance powers often expand far beyond their original purpose. This becomes one of the most important sections of the entire encounter, because both sides finally lay out their full arguments in detail.
I purely had a chat with you. Obviously, you explained why you don't want to, why you've covered your face. That's your choice at the moment. We're not making anything about that, but I questioned why you were doing it.
Yeah, you're free to question. I mean,
that's it. We have conversations with people, and that's why we've had a conversation with you, because you're just a bit out of the norm that you've gone to the lengths to cover yourself up like that. All right.
So you're now recording, right?
I am recording. I started recording when we had this conversation, just because I saw that you're recording us essentially, and we record our interactions because you might want to complain about us or anything like that. Nothing.
I mean, I wouldn't complain. The only niggle is you're supposed to tell me that you're recording. Okay. So that is a data protection thing.
Well, we did tell you you've been recording this area.
But when you activate, it's in your body-worn policy, but when you activate it, you're supposed to tell the public.
Okay, I apologise for that, Nick. I didn't tell you that at the time, but there we go. All right.
Okay. Well, you've apologised, so I won't put a complaint in, but that's just something that annoys me when police record me without telling me.
That's fine, all right.
But because if you're not going to stick to a basic policy, you're going to stick to all of the policies and the law.
So cameras, and you were asked specifically about them, so I saw that you're recording us, and obviously people record police for various reasons. So I put my body-worn camera to capture our side of it. If you do record us, and what you're recording, it records our side of the interaction with you. That's why I've activated it. All right.
Yeah, I'll be hanging around just to sort of see what happens.
No, fine. That's all right. No worries. All right.
Cool.
Okay. No worries. Take care.
Take your shoulder numbers. 7062 70568. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
The focus now shifts away from facial recognition and onto police body cameras. The auditor notices officers are recording him and immediately raises concerns about policy and transparency. According to him, the public should always be informed the moment recording begins. One officer eventually apologizes for not announcing it properly, But the interaction exposes another layer of mistrust between police and the public. The auditor argues that if officers fail to follow simple recording procedures, how can the public trust them with far more advanced surveillance technology? It's a subtle moment compared to the earlier arguments, but it adds even more pressure to an already tense encounter.
How you, when your glasses start falling down, you put your finger there to push them up,
Yeah,
don't you? So I keep fogging up the lens.
So, out of interest, are they like a cheap 30 quid Amazon pair, or are they like a few hundred quid? Like,
I think they're around 80.
Oh, okay.
There's,
quality alright? Like HD,
yeah,
I presume? Or
I think they're 720p, so...
Okay, yeah.
But you can get some that are like twice the price, and they claim to be 4K, but they're only about 1080,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
There's not much difference between 720 and 1080, so it's not worth the extra 90 quid, is it?
And what's that? Osmo work coming up?
Yeah, it's the new DJI thing, but...
Oh, is it DJI?
Yeah.
How much does that say about?
But it's, I don't know,
okay.
a few hundred. But normally, and that we can flip it on. And that we can flip it onto selfie like this.
Yeah.
There we are, look.
Lovely.
So that's what I was doing. I've got my little mask that I was wearing.
Who's that?
But it's not triggering the facial recognition.
Who is it?
Maybe it's because he's in prison, I don't know.
I mean, that would be why, yeah.
It's Wayne Couzens.
Oh, okay.
right,
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I've heard it all, obviously, but I just don't watch the news.
I made it myself. It's good, isn't it? Can you tell?
Well, I didn't really know who it was, to be honest. So.
Well.
But he's not going to trigger the ban if he's in prison, is he?
Oh.
It's not. We don't have people in prison.
And it probably wouldn't.
After a quieter stretch, the tension suddenly returns in a completely unexpected way. The auditor reveals a homemade mask resembling Wayne Couzens, the former police officer whose crimes shocked the entire UK, and uses it to test the facial recognition system. The officers appear caught off guard as the conversation turns toward whether the cameras can even detect a printed face. What began as a political debate now becomes a bizarre live experiment exposing potential weaknesses in the technology itself. The mix of dark humor, controversy, and genuine curiosity creates one of the strangest moments in the video, and easily one of the most memorable.
Detect 2D, it's just a little silly thing.
What are you doing down there then? Have you here purposely for this, or are you...
Yeah, I came up for this, to be honest.
Where do you live? Are you local, or...
No, I'm not
based,
going to give that information, but...
That's fair enough. Don't need to know much. Just wondered if you're an Essex lad, or like...
No, I don't really come up here very often, to be honest, but
okay.
This is where the technology is today, so this is
it's today, yeah, I mean, obviously you see it's on the website, it goes all over the county.
I did come up here and then I put a tweet out to Essex police saying you've stood me up, the technology's not here.
Oh,
so
right.
you'd moved from the post office and you're up here.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, just
so then I found, as I posted the tweet, I found you, so I deleted it.
So yeah, travels all over the county. You've ever seen the Met ones or not? The Met have got a few of them.
No, this is the first one I've done, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the Met have got a fair few, to be fair.
They don't always notify everyone where they're going to be, so they're supposed to publish it somewhere, but where, for example, you know, you guys published the first day you were here, maybe it was like the 12th or something.
Oh, right.
Not every day,
but not since, so...
Oh, I don't really...
I found an old article from a few months ago which said you were going to be here today, so I just chanced that you would be. So.
You know better than I do, mate, what days we're coming in. To be fair, it's, I'll walk in on a day and see what we're doing.
Fair enough.
It's about my only involvement.
Yeah, I was hoping to, you know, see some...
So, I was going to say, what's the plan? What are you hoping to see? What would be your ideal day?
Well, I was hoping to see it work.
At this stage, the tone becomes calmer, but the disagreement remains unresolved. Officers continue answering questions about how the system is used, how deployments are planned, and what kinds of people are typically flagged by the cameras. The auditor listens carefully, but still seems unconvinced. Even though the conversation is more relaxed now, there's an underlying tension running throughout it, because both sides clearly understand they see public surveillance in completely different ways. Rather than ending in hostility, the encounter settles into an uneasy standoff between security and privacy.
I see you stopped someone, but
okay.
I've seen you stop one person in a shop.
Yeah.
Which I assume was either a false match or something
no,
like that.
No, it wasn't. No. But that's the thing, it's not a case of everyone who we stop is going to be arrested. It's not a case of that at all.
Just people of interest, maybe.
People of interest, yeah. Might be missing people. We can have those on there as well, depending on the nature. But, yeah. Oh well. Enjoy your day anyway.
I'll probably be heading off in a minute. So.
Okay. Well, I mean.
Police now clarify an important detail many viewers may not realize. Not everyone stopped by facial recognition ends up arrested. Officers explain that some matches involve vulnerable or missing individuals, while others simply require further checks. The explanation attempts to humanize the operation and present it as more than just a tool for catching criminals. But after everything already discussed, the audience is left deciding for themselves whether these reassurances are enough to justify the level of surveillance taking place on the streets.
And this is it for the next few hours, to my understanding, but it sounds like I'll see you again at some point, doesn't it? If you're going to
What does MG stand for? Is it on there?
It's just a jacket I picked up in America.
It does look very American.
It does
From
sound
like a
very
trip, especially with the
Have you got an NYPD one as well?
No, unfortunately not. I can't say I'm the biggest police fan, but
fair enough.
but anyway.
As the encounter finally comes to an end, the auditor prepares to leave after spending hours observing the operation. Despite all the technology on display, the deployment produced very little action, something the auditor quietly points out in his closing remarks. But while the police operation may be winding down, the bigger debate remains wide open. Questions about privacy, facial recognition, public consent, and government surveillance continue hanging over the entire encounter long after the cameras stop rolling.